Hey everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today I'm going to be talking about a game that I recently finished, and that game is Akiba's Trip. Wow, this game is what I expected, and at the same time still kind of gave me some disappointment, so yeah, I don't really know how to comment on it, but if you guys don't know what it basically is a game where there's sort of these like vampire-like people, and you sort of become one of them, but you're good, and you have to kind of expose them because they're like stealing people's energy. And by doing, or how you do that is you take off all of their clothes. That's why the game is called Akiba's Trip or Akiba Strip. Akiba's Trip takes place in Akihabara, which is a district in Tokyo, or city in Tokyo if you want to be specific. Just that's the way it works there. Anyway, but it is 100% accurate to the actual streets there, like down to the actual shops. They're not fake shops. They're not fake streets. It's seriously what you would see if you're there, and I've been to Akihabara, so it was kind of neat walking around because you're like, wow, I totally remember walking down that street and that place. So that was actually really interesting. Like, they got it down to all the electronic shops, to where AKB48 plays, like really seriously detailed. And I gotta just boost this game up with the visuals. It looks fantastic. You know, I've always loved the Vita screen. I love the way that games look on the Vita. I think it's a brilliant console no matter what people say, because I know it doesn't do as well as the 3DS, and it's way more tailored to people who like more JRPG sort of Japanese style games. But nonetheless, the game looks great. It's like these beautiful cel shaded graphics, and you know, the actual design of the areas where you're walking around is like perfect. It really, really does look nice. Having said all of that, the game, like, the story is awful. I'm sorry. I know some people have enjoyed this a little bit more than me. It has nothing to do with the stripping part. In fact, that is the reason I bought it. It was kind of funny to me, because only a game from Japan based in Akihabara would be like that. So that's funny to me. Like, it's not offensive or anything. I don't care. But it really is just sort of a fan service game of taking people's clothes off, watching them scream and go, ooh, and then like kind of chuckling to yourself later and not caring at all what any of the people say in the story. I really didn't care at all what was going on. In fact, I knew when I was close to the end of the game that I was close to the end, and I was just skipping through dialogue because I thought, everything you're saying is pointless and I don't care. So boring. And one thing that I have to, again, sorry, negative, but the voice acting in this game, it says you can choose an option for Japanese dialogue. However, that is not true, because I did that, and when I do it, you still get English audio for all the main characters, but like when you like bump into somebody, they'll say something in Japanese on the street, and I was like, that does not count. I like playing games that are from Japan, that are like, you know, based in Japan, and are very, you know, Japanese style games in Japanese. It just feels right. And I don't like hearing English because, for the most part, and some people might not like this, but for the most part, I find that anime or video games that are anime style, where they dub the voices into English, I find that they're almost always awful. Like, just bad. It just doesn't work with English voices. And to be honest, it probably wouldn't work, you know, in German either. Like, it just has to be in Japanese. It just doesn't sound right. And so when I'm playing this, some of the voices are just so irritating. Like, I'm thinking, you know, there's worse. But I just thought, ugh, this is so awful, and I don't care at all. And sort of the amount of fan service was a little bit like, you know, rolling my eyes going like, wow, you know, some close-up panty shots. Like, I just don't care. I don't know who's playing this to get the giggles, but it's not really that great. But anyway, yeah, I really, really wished it would have been better to me if it was in Japanese. But regardless, the story is not that gripping. I didn't really care. And I'll be honest, I think that is partially due to the English acting being so bad. You know, one of the main characters, the girl that you travel with a lot, God, her voice in English was just like, I don't care, I'm just doing this to get paid, you know, the $100 I'm getting paid. And I just went like, wow, like, this is not gripping me in the slightest. And it's already a bad story, but with the English voice acting being so, like, monotone and boring and sloppy, I really didn't like it. So, sorry if you guys really like the game and you love the voice acting, but it just did not, I didn't like it at all. Basically, this game is a brawler, it's a fighting game. It's not really that hard. If you play it on, I played it on easy because I just didn't give a shit and just wanted to just check it out. But you basically have, each button represents taking off or targeting a body part, because the end goal is to take off everybody's clothes. So one button will represent taking off the shirt, one button will represent taking off pants, and one button will take off anything over their head, like a hat or a headband or anything like that. And once all their clothes are fully off and they're down to their underwear, they go like, wah, and disappear because they're exposed to the sunlight. And that goes for you too. So they're trying to take off your clothes because you are like them. They're called synthesters, and you basically have to beat them, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Why are these synthesters happening? Why are they stealing people's energy? What's going on? Why were you chosen? Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, for a game that's set in a modern day setting, and is, you know, the art style is beautiful. I was a little disappointed because the story's so bad, you know, but I have to say, did I really expect a whole ton from a game where the whole point is to take people's clothes off? I don't think so. So this is, I heard when I was like asking people, should I buy this game? Should I not buy this game? People were like, it's kind of what you expect. It's not going to be that gripping. You know, this is no epic Final Fantasy story where you're like so gripped. Like, I don't know, guys. I'm basically making this video to tell those who are on the fence, maybe skip this one. If you love brawlers and you gotta own everyone, you gotta own, you know, you like a beat 'em up, you know, go for it. I also don't necessarily, like, you know, some people actually thought this was rather enjoyable. Just for me, it was just, the reason I didn't like it, the number one reason was it was just boring. Like, I didn't care, and I don't like playing a game when I don't care about the story, because then I feel like, why am I going to invest my time in this? I know it's not a long game, it's not like some 50-hour game, but I still feel like if I'm going to put 10 hours into this, or whatever it was, you know, 8 hours, whatever, I kind of want to enjoy what I'm doing and actually care about the characters. I don't even remember the character's name, like the main character's name, because I just don't care. Like, I don't remember. It was just kind of like, everyone's forgettable. And like, it was just, I don't know, so many tropes, you know, so many stereotypes. It was just a little bit too much. I know it's not like Moe or whatever, but it had a bit too much of the gimmicky sort of anime trope thing going on. And I just kind of was like, wow, I've never seen that before. Like, so anyway, it's very average. You know, get it for, you know, shits and giggles if you want a good laugh. If you want a game that is as ridiculous as stripping people's clothes off, it's kind of funny, I guess. But, yeah, I wouldn't say this is really a good game, so maybe skip this one, guys. You can also get it for PS3 and PS4. I think those are all the consoles it's on. You know, whatever. I liked it on handheld because I could sort of pick it up and go. Anyway, guys, Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. Check it out if you want, but I am warning you that it's kind of crappy. I would say if you could find it for like $15, it would be totally worth it, because it's like, hey, it's just kind of funny, like, check it out. Maybe you'll like the story, but I don't know, like, I paid like $35 or something for this, and it's like, I don't know if it was worth that, but I was dying to have it. And here's the other thing. I like games that are really different and unique, and I like to support that. I like to support sort of weird and wacky, you know, weird games, because then they continue to get made. You know, I don't want to live in a world where the only games being made are a ton of Assassin's Creed and, you know, like Call of Duties. I like that weird, unique, niche games like this actually continue to be made. So, you know, I support it that way, because I really, truly do like the weird Japanese games. I love it. I love Japanese RPGs. So, you know, I support it. And it's Xseed Games. They make good games. That's all I have to say, though, honestly, because it's just kind of like, it's just a weird, silly game, but it's just not that interesting. It's kind of boring. So that's the only complaint, really. It's kind of fun, but just a tad boring. So Akiba's Trip, buy it if you want, but I've warned you on kind of iffy. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. God. The princess went back in time. She looks like one of the people back then. I don't know, because you're asking me to remember specific details from like 3.5 years ago. It's like, I don't. Yeah.
Really upset?
Yeah, I'm so upset that I have a scribbly thing going on right here.